Best of r/Choosing Beggars episode 9. This is the tale of someone I will refer to as Bob. Now you might wonder why I consider Bob to be the king of choosing beggars, and it's very simple. Bob is a professional choosing beggar, has been one for more than a decade now, making a living off of begging, earning an estimated $6,000 plus from said begging a month, all while insulting and demeaning the people that gives him his money. For your entertainment I will start at the beginning. This story starts in the early 2000s. At this time Bob was a lazy 20-something that just got his first job. His dad had pulled strings to get him a job where he worked, but like many choosing beggars, Bob didn't like his job. During this time he started playing video games professionally on the side, which led to a fluke win. It's considered a fluke because he couldn't recreate this victory in a notable gaming tournament, which inflated his ego massively. At this time YouTube was still in its infancy. Our boy Bob started uploading his gaming videos to YouTube. It was more to feed that growing ego than his wallet. And then it happened. YouTube monetization. This was enough for Bob to earn decent amount money, leading to him making a down payment on an apartment. It is at this point Bob claims he got injured on the job and was subsequently fired. But Bob is a pathological liar, and popular belief among most law keepers is that he arrived to work drunk several times, which led to his termination. This led Bob to make his first recorded begging video. The video consisted of him telling people he got fired from his job through no fault of his own, a line he still uses when blaming his self-created misfortune on others, and that he was going to do YouTube professionally from now on, and if people wanted to support him in this endeavor they can send him money via PayPal or simply clicking the ads that pop up on his video. This was profitable enough that after a while he actually made second videos sometime later, but realizing that asking people to click the ads was against monetization too, he vaguely asked his viewing audience to participate with the video. He got away doing this for close to 2 years before YouTube realized unusual click activity and banned his monetization. But like many crafty choosing beggars, Bob already had a solution for this. His channel was big enough for it to be picked up by a partnership program, and that offered him a top tier partnership. Though due to their own incompetence they were unable to see that Bob wasn't as popular as the other top tier partners. So now his channel was monetized by their ads account and he was getting paid way over what he was actually brining in. So with his monthly income secure, our little beggar started to expand his channel. At that point it was simply a blogging and video game channel, but to draw in the extra views he started to ask his friends to star in his videos. This led to a web series which was quite popular, but Bob, being a choosing beggar, never compensated all of his friends. When asked about this he stated that they just wanted exposure and never wanted money. In the end only one of his friends ended up getting actual money from this, and only till Bob figured out a way to shaft him, giving a vague reason why he had to pay him less money than his transportation costs. It was at this time his friends started noticing things, very expensive things. The luxury German sedan in Bob's parking spot was the straw that broke the camel's back. Realizing that shit was about to get real, Bob panicked and packed his bags and fled, dragged his first girlfriend with him to the other side of the country. Thinking he outsmarted everybody, Bob moved to a state he thought had no income taxes. He bought himself a house and settled down with his girlfriend. Now due to Bob no longer having access to new content staring his friends, his views started decline and his partnership started to realize he wasn't as popular as they thought he was. They renegotiating his contract several times, each time reducing his pay. It was at this point Bob went from being a YouTuber to being a live streamer. This is when he realized that this was where the real money was. Soon after Bob was let go from his partnership, but managed to get another on with a smaller partnership company, but they'd to let him go a year or so later. Bob would use both cases to get well over a $1,000 in contributions each time. He also used the death of a friend to roll in that sympathy dollars. During this time he would also lose his first girlfriend because she had a panic attack at her job. Yes, she was the only one in the relationship with a job. Got taken to the hospital in an ambulance, which resulted in Bob starting up a live stream loudly retelling every single private detail of this event and saying next time should just demand a pill rather than an expensive ambulance ride. Now remember I said Bob thought he didn't have to pay taxes? Well, it turns out he did. Stressed that he might go to jail, Bob started a stream in which he told people he needed $4,000 to pay his taxes. Well, for the last 3 years this amount has increased to the current amount of $25,000 he still claims he owes. He also likes to tell people if they don't give him money he will lose both of his homes. Yes, Bob still owes his old apartment, which if you believe what he says he overpaid for because he got honeydicked, which he refuses to sell. It is also important to note that after the original tax scare, every single time Bob raised money for taxes was followed by something expensive like moving in his new girlfriend from across the country or going to visit his parents, whom he claimed was dying at the time, and getting married to his new girlfriend. Currently Bob is almost 40 years old and live streams on a popular streaming site, streaming twice a day up to around 8 hours total stream time, 6 days a week. His streams normally start with him begging people for money for half an hour, reminding his viewers that tipping him is the best way to contribute to the stream, and then the stream starts, which is normally includes long patches of dead air, farts and belches, because Bob is a total slob that doesn't give a shit about quality. Over the last 2 years of streaming Bob has earned an estimated $80,000 to $120,000 a year. You would think a man that is that horrible at streaming but still can get that level of support from his viewers would be extremely grateful, right? Wrong. Bob regularly insults his viewing audience, going so far as to yell insulting and demeaning things to one of his larger contributors because he thought this individual said something negative about him. Also, he is well known for telling viewers to fuck off if they ask him what he uses their tip money for. Sometimes he even bans them because that money is now his and how he spends it is none of their business. To finish this off, I will do a simple calculation of an estimate of how much Bob earns from his begging. He has a $200 a day tips goal, meaning he wants at least $4,800 a month from tips. To be fair, I will estimate he gets $4,000 from tips. The site he streams on has a paid subscriber option. Cheapest tier nets him $3 per sub. Its tiered can go up to $20 plus per sub. He has around 650 subs, which means he is getting at least $1,950 from subs. The site also has a converted currency, which he has a $480 a month goal. We will calculate this at $400. He also has a Patreon which he hasn't updated in more than a year and still earns him $400 a month. So in total Bob is getting around $6,750 a month begging, even though he is a massive douchebag and self-entitled prick. Thank you. Next. This happened years ago. So my sister, moved out because she didn't like having to help clean the house and that my nana wanted to meet her boyfriend. That was basically it. She moved in with another family who surprise wanted her to help around the house. You pay her rent. She refused and was kicked out. She ended up bouncing around from couch to couch and made friends with different people. We do look alike, and she told her friends what I looked like, what buses I rode, and the fact I had a job. I was completely innocent at first, so I would have these conversations. CB, oh, are you our sister? Me, yes I am. CB, oh well, R says you have a job and money. Me, I do have a job. CB, oh then can you give me $20? I need cigarettes. Me, oh I don't have that kind of money. CB, fine. It'll take $10. Me, sorry but I need my money to pay for my cell phone bill and bus pass. CB, you don't need a cell phone that badly. I need the money more. So give me $20. Me, no. CB, come on. R said you have money. Me, I don't. CB, fine. After a couple of these conversations, I stopped saying yes and instead kept asking why they wanted to know. Surprise, they wanted me to give them money. Thank you. Next. I am a manager at a chain pizza restaurant. It's a Friday during lunchtime, so there is another manager here with me, as it can get pretty busy. I am about to take a break when the phone rings. I tell him I'll answer it. Me, thanks for calling. How can I help you? CB, in a nice tone, hey, just wondering what your specials are today? It's in between months, so we don't have many over the phone. Me, the only one I have over the phone right now is 20% off. CB, long sigh, okay. What kind of pizzas do you have? You have one with everything on it? I say yes and tell her those toppings, and then explain the rest of the menu. CB, okay. Can I just get these 6 toppings on a large? Me, sure. Your total is going to be $20. $69 after tax. delivery fee, and 20% off CB, $20 for a pizza. You're out of your mind. Me, I'm sorry but a large starts at $13, and each topping is $1.50 each. There is also a delivery fee of $3.00. This is where the fun starts. CB, can I get a garlic dipping cup and some peppers for free? Me, no ma'am, they are only 50 cents each. That would bring your total up to $21.54. I have a couple of carryouts walk in and they start to hear my side of the conversation. CB, and you can't do anything else to make that price go lower? Me, no ma'am, I already gave you 20% off. That's the best I can do over the phone. CB, can't you do the deal where all of the toppings are free? Me, 1. We have no deal like that, and 2. I'm not freeing anything out. CB, but you can. Me, well I'm not. CB, can I get the big deal and 20% off? Me, I'm sorry, but what's the big deal? CB, the one where my toppings are free. At this point I was getting annoyed and my carryouts had been standing there for a couple minutes. So I told her to hold, and told the other manager to get the phone. I got the carryout squared away, and apologized. They said that it's no problem and were very nice. One even tipped me. While I am helping them, however, I hear that the other manager is having the exact same conversation with her as I was having. Somehow he makes her happy, and gets her to place the order. He tells her delivery will be about 35-45 minutes. She calls back after 10 minutes asking where her pizza is and if it's going to be cold when it gets to her. He tells her that it's still in the oven and that it won't be cold. It didn't end up being 35 minutes as I had a driver walk in as it was coming out of the oven. He takes it and gets it to her in less than 20 minutes. Our delivery time is always 30 minutes or more, so this happening is a miracle. It was definitely not cold. She calls again, and I answered. As soon as I saw her phone number, I should have gotten the other manager. But I didn't. She was yelling at me that we sent her a cold pizza. This is when I got the other manager. She tells him that she took one look at it, decided it was too cold, gave the pizza, and the money to the driver. The manager, driver, and I voided the order and split the money. Driver 10, us 2 5 each. We all agreed that we did not get paid enough to deal with her bullshit. Thank you. Next. Okay, so, I work in a grocery shop in the meat department. The story is from a while back, so please excuse my paraphrasing. Warning. English is not my first language and use of phone. It was in the morning, where my colleague and I were busy with customers, heating up bread and just generally doing our work. Well, then, the oven rings and informs us that the schnitzels are done. While I get them out, a customer comes to us and is ready to order. I quickly put the schnitzel where they belong on a plate in a heated spot. The whole time, this man watches me, and then I ask what I can do for him. He did not speak the best German, but enough to get the point across, I guess. Customer, 1 schnitzel. Warm. Me with customer service smile, of course. I just got them out the oven. Customer, no, make it warm. Me, it is hot. I just got it out the oven. Customer, make it warmer. I was a bit confused and honestly, did not have the time to argue. So I nodded and put it in the oven and turned it on for 3 or 5 minutes and get some other work done. While we wait, I even put the schnitzel into a special bag that's supposed to keep the food warm. All is done. He goes paying and leaves. Well, so far not so choosy or beggary. So, you know that this was not the end quite yet. No, after an hour or so, the man returns and complains that the schnitzel is not hot enough. I have 2 reasons for that. 1. Of course a schnitzel does not stay warm for a whole hour. I never tested the bags, so no clue how long they are supposed to keep something warm. 2. This man has clearly no feeling for heat. I am sure he could walk through a forest fire and complain about the fire being too cold. Anyways, I apologize and offer to reheat it. No, he does not like that. So, I ask my co-worker what we should do. My colleague just gives him another warm schnitzel. The customer asks if he can eat it up, but my colleague says no, because all our functioning ovens are in use. Which was partly a lie, but mostly the truth. But the customer accepts it and leaves the store. Thank you. Next. So in my English class today, we had a work period to work on our essays which were going to be due. Romeo and Juliet, in case you were wondering, since we just got the essay assigned, our teacher wanted us to work on it for today. We had a supply teacher today. I grabbed my computer which I had to started to on my work my essay outline. So I had this guy in my class come to me and the following conversation ensues. To keep them anonymous, I'll call them Samuel. Samuel, hey, when is the essay outline due? Me, it's due next week. Samuel, shit. Hey, can you send me the essay outline when you're done? At this point I started to laugh, and I asked if he's being serious. Samuel, yeah, I'm being serious. Can you send it when you are done? Me, why would I ever send it to you? BTW, he doesn't like the fact that I use Reddit, and tries to make fun of me for that, lol. Samuel, cause I haven't started it and need help. Me, and how is that my problem? Samuel, I don't know. Can you just send it? Me, I'm not sending it. Samuel, fine, I don't need your help. I hate the fact that people can be so desperate and lazy. Just do it yourself. I'm not writing an essay for you, no matter the cause. Thank you. Next. Exposure equals all advertising, like influencers, YouTube sponsors, but if you're going by YouTube standards, one person is like 1.8 cents, and that's with targeted advertising, so it's probably less than that if your YouTube channel or following isn't related to the product. Exposure isn't the problem, it's overvaluing its worth. Do the math first. Technically, since most people don't have large followings, you still make actual money off of the rest of the population.